So first of all, let me just say about this forecast of 25, 30 storms. So you hear all these big numbers this year. It's a great thing because boy, are a lot of people interested in actually talking about hurricanes early in the season and not waiting until there's actually a threat. So on one hand, that is a good thing. The fact that there is all this energy out there talking about it. So what is causing these forecasts to be like this? And the answer to your question, Kim, is the weather pattern, especially the oceanographic pattern, where the hot water is, the warm water, extremely warm water, record warm water in the Atlantic, is unprecedented. We have never seen both the pattern and the degree of warmth in the Atlantic. We saw the pattern last year, but it was, in spite of the fact it was record warm last year, it is even warmer this year. Warm water means energy for hurricanes. In the Pacific, you have El Nino and La Nina, and anybody that follows hurricanes have heard those words. Just think of El Nino as being negative for the development of strong storms. La Nina is usually positive or conducive for the development of storms. Last year we had an El Nino. That kept the storms out of the Caribbean. There were no storms in the Caribbean last year. Kept the Gulf almost storm-free, although we did have Idalia, and kept them away from Florida. This kind of persistent upper-level wind pushing from west to east did both things, kind of cut off the storms in the western part of the Atlantic basin, and it turned storms north. We don't have that this year. We have the opposite this year. So this year we have a very conducive Atlantic and a conducive Pacific, and that's why the numbers are higher. So yes, we've had a conducive both before, but we've never had this extreme situation in the Atlantic. Now, right now, obviously here we are into June and nothing is developing, and nothing's going to develop anytime soon here right away. Maybe later in the month it becomes a little more conducive. The weather pattern is really unusual in that everything is pushed way far south. So we actually had a cold front come through here some days ago. If you notice, the humidity dropped. It's kind of back up now, but the humidity dropped. It was really beautiful. That was actually a cold front in June. Really unusual. So cold fronts are coming farther south. The tropical activity is pushed way south, and so it just hasn't kicked in yet. But what happens in June has essentially nothing to do with what happens in August, September, and October. Every expectation continues to be that it will be a busy hurricane season once the tropics get into regular mode, because they have more energy to make storms stronger, either develop where they wouldn't have developed with normal water temperatures, or get stronger.